Major Shah, I come to you. Also, what are your reactions when China is finally now again rather locking down the iPhone city as COVID cases rise? As I likely said, this time the cases are higher than what we saw in the Shanghai outbreak and how China had reacted then, China's obsession with the zero COVID policy. Now China locking down its iPhone city. How do you also react and comment on this?
Well, Riyanka, the Zhengzhou plant is the world's largest iPhone factory with some about 2 lakh workers, right? The unrest which came into the Taiwanese firm Foxconn, they recruited an additional of 1 lakh staff earlier this month. And due to the exodus blamed on the alleged poor treatment of workers, the hiring spree which came at a time when Apple is facing significant supply chain constraints as the assembly facility and expects iPhone 14 shipments to be hit just as the key holiday shopping season begins. So China, most certainly, people over there are protesting because they could not manage their COVID problem. They could not look after the citizens. They are protesting against the Chinese. And Xi Jinping got a third term, so he is more interested in land grabbing than looking after the internal problems of his country and what the people are doing over there. So instead of taking care of the normal public over there in China, this is what China is up to. So certainly it would not be tolerated by people, and people have exposed them. Their own people inside have protested, and they have themselves claimed that their government was insufficient in managing COVID and looking after their own people. So they are protesting, in fact, violent protests. And I see that these protests would further go on and become further violent and become more brutal. In fact, there have been a lot of rumors of Xi Jinping being, not now, a couple of months earlier, being under house arrest and the Chinese chief of army taking over China. All that is because of the unrest in China. There is a lot that is happening in the country, but what meets the eye ultimately is, China's aggression. China is trying to, because they are so incorrigible, I would say, because they, instead of looking after the internal matters, they are going ahead and trying to be over-ambitious and trying to become a superpower in less than no time. In fact, Xi Jinping had declared by 2050 they would be the #1 superpower in the world. But look what's happening inside their country. They cannot get that, they cannot attain their objective unless and until they look after their own people internally, Riyanka.
All right, Major Shah, thank you for giving your reactions on that.